Timbaland, one of the greatest producers of our time, perhaps one of the greatest producers of all time, has been caught red-handed stealing another man's work using his sunoai. Everything that Suchir Balaji tried to warn us about is actually happening. I am super heated right now. This is good for thought. Let's talk about it.
Good for thought.
Put up, everybody. All the shout outs, all the good stuff at the end of the video. Yes, you have clicked on the right clip. We are talking about Timbaland, the great Timbaland, the I'm bringing sexy back Timbaland, the Aaliyah Timbaland. The list goes on and on and on. There are recent allegations that he has stole someone else's instrumental. Now, we are also going to talk about some industry secrets, and I want to remind everyone that we will unpack this story fully on the Soul of Eight podcast, because it will be really interested to hear from another producer, a multi-instrumentalist, a producer that was signed to a major record label. It will be cool to hear what he thinks about it, so look out for that on a Friday. Why this story is so personal to us on this channel and why I got so heated finding out about it is because recently, if you haven't seen, we had the honor and the privilege of hosting the OpenAI whistleblower Suchir Balaji's parents. They are amazing people. They are continuing the mission of their son. They went through this crazy tragedy, and their son lost his life for this reason, because he was trying to expose to the whole world that as far as AI goes, there will be issues for artists because of the copyright. So really quick, before we get into the Timbaland story, I would encourage everyone to go check out the full conversation. The link will be in the description. But just to kind of sum it up, because Suchir's mother, she has a lot of the notes that her son was leaving, and the issue with the copyright is that the way AI works is basically it needs to be fed, it needs to be trained. So what they will do is, if you're an artist, they will take your work, your song, your beat, whatever, they will feed it through AI. It will get modified and it will come out as something else, while you get no credit for it, while you won't receive a penny for it. And this is why this is so important. I am an artist myself. I have been doing hip hop, writing songs for 29 years now. I know exactly how we treat our work. I always call it the divine spark, divine intervention, the touch of God. We are God's pen, God's voice, whatever you want to call it. That whole process is very special. So we treat it that way. And if our hard work gets taken and it just, gets chopped up or whatever, and it's used by someone else that didn't put as much work in, of course, we're disappointed, man. So a lot of you, if you didn't know, the music industry, and especially being an independent artist nowadays, is super tough. If you think about it, around like 200 songs or something gets uploaded onto Spotify every single day. So imagine competing with something like that, right? So these record execs, they're looking at that and they're going, well, instead of signing an artist, or instead of paying for like ghostwriters, I could just take someone's shit, feed it through my AI, and it, will come out, and I will put 500,000 songs a day instead of 200,000 songs. Well, where does that leave the artist, right? And even like think about it, where does that leave the world as far as creativity goes, as far as our progressing as a society goes? Because I have done a separate video on this, and I said that AI will ultimately steal the soul of humanity, because art, and if it's correct kind of art, the kind of art that actually helps a person progress and actually pushes humanity forward, that kind of art will disappear, man. That kind of art well, it's no longer art if it's done by AI, but it will discourage young artists from even, I don't know, picking up a guitar or something. I think I heard a argument somewhere that someone said, well, yeah, it's hard learning music, so now it's easy, you can just have AI help you out. Well, duh, it's super hard. Like, yes, the inspiration that we receive, it's sort of, this holy process, but the technical side of even learning how to write, it takes years and years to develop, to come out with your own style, to get nice with the pen. It takes years for a great guitarist to be a great guitarist, for a drummer, for a plumber, for a roofer, for anybody. It takes a long time. And now they are trying to, substitute that with something else, with something synthetic, with something unorganic. So back to Timbaland. For those of you that are not aware, or maybe you didn't know, I think around the time of the pandemic, Timbaland, he started to go on these live streams. I seen it on YouTube, maybe it was somewhere else. So what he would do is, on these live streams, he would leave a link allowing for artists, beat makers, songwriters, to upload their song, upload their instrumental, and he would kind of, grade it or give it a rating, tell you if it's good or if it's whack or whatever. So I'm guessing one of these times, an artist, a producer called K Fresh, huge shout out to K Fresh, super talented, super dope. One of these producers sent him one of his beats. I guess Timbaland kind of, brushed it off like, yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? This is good. Months go by. Timbaland uploads a video. It's called Making a Beat with Sunoai. By the way, Sunoai is the artificial intelligence that Timbaland is training. Timbaland is feeding. Timbaland is developing. So anyway, Timbaland is on this video basically telling the whole world that, look, this is the beat that my AI made. Little do you know, some time goes by and producer K Fresh is like, hold up. That sounds exactly like it's a little different. I will play it for y'all here. So as I was saying, it to me, it sounds almost exactly the same. But the crazy part is that, every producer has like their little tag on the beat, something that they leave that it's like their signature on the instrumental, on the composition. The crazy thing is that little that little thing that you hear, like, Timbaland's AI and even Timbaland himself didn't take that part out. Like, it's right there. You can hear it, man. Like, hey, tell me what y'all think, man, in the comments, because if you ask me, like, I can hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? So Timbaland like puts it out like, yeah, this is my stuff, and K Fresh is like, nah, bro. It is not your stuff. And this is where the huge problem, this is where the the huge debate comes in. Once again, we will unpack this whole thing detail by detail, going into, does this tarnish the legacy of a Timbaland? We're going to talk about that on Soul of Eight. I don't want to get into that discussion here. I just want to say, as an artist myself, as an artist that in my teenage years, I have had offers from major record labels. I would turn them down. I wanted to be able to control my own, creative process. I take this very personally. I thank the Almighty every single day that I am blessed enough to create besides music, that I'm able to come out with these podcasts, that I'm able to, come out with these different shows and different topics and different things like that. And I'm so thankful for my wife. She's an amazing inspiration, you know what I'm saying? And it really, it really leaves us with a huge question. Where does that leave the artist? Where does that leave that young kid that wants to pick up a guitar, wants to, spend many, many, many thousands of hours to developing that skill, that technical skill? Where does that leave those dreams? And again, I made a whole other video on this topic saying that AI will ultimately steal the soul of humanity. Because like I said before, you know, I think personally that true artistry is the soul of society, is the soul of people. So if you ask me, did Timbaland do this on purpose? I don't think he did this on purpose. I don't think he would make himself look like an ass like that in front of all of these people, have this whole story blow up. On the other hand, a lot of people are, they're marketing geniuses, man. But again, for all those young artists that may not know, I have been in a game for a long time. I've been in the studio with some of the best. I've seen some of the best producers, some of the best artists. It doesn't work the way we traditionally think it works. Usually 99% of the major artists that out there, they have a whole team working on one project. Someone will pitch you a hook, someone will pitch you a bridge, someone will pitch you a little something extra on the beat, and then they put it together, they package it up, and they release it as if it was that one artist's work. I have heard only of a couple true heavyweights that take the sport seriously, where they will by themselves lock up in a studio and make sure no one is coming, and they will do their own thing. I even heard that Eminem tested Kendrick Lamar this way. He wanted to know, is your pen really your pen? Are these your bars? He locked Kendrick in the studio, and he made sure that, bro, like, let me see what you really about. So a lot of these iconic artists still take the craft very seriously, and so do I. And I think one of the reasons of why this is happening is because in the last decade and plus, music has been so watered down. All this mumble trap stuff, no one cares about perfecting the pen no more. No one cares about being nice. No one cares about metaphors and similes. It's enough to have a nice beat and you could just mumble on it, and then you go out there, you have a good image and crazy image, and you make a whole lot of money, man. But again, someone like me, I just want to put it out there. Just maybe you're not an artist, and you're kind of leaning to the side of AI. Just to explain to you that, let's say my last album, In the Time of Raw, it took me 2 years to put it together and then release it. The writing part, again, thank God for the inspiration. It came kind of quick. It took some months to write the whole 24 track album. but actually putting the whole project together, it took 2 years. Us as independent artists, we have to get the money, pay for the studio time, pay for the engineer, pay for the instrumentals, and then the mixing, the mastering, everything. Again, my last project took 2 years. Now imagine someone taking all of that work, feeding it through some sort of a AI, and it comes out as something else, and you don't even get the credit for it, man. Now again, I don't really think that, I'm saying, Timbaland did it on purpose. Now, also, if y'all don't know, Timbaland has been talking about for the past months that he's coming out with a whole record label of AI artists, and one of these first artists that he wants to introduce to the world is named Tata. Again, we talked about this whole AI artist thing on the Soul of Eight podcast. You can find it on this channel. Very interesting conversations, because we as musicians, me as a musician, Spencer Reese as a multi-instrumentalist, a producer, we're kind of discussing, like, where does that leave, music? Where does that leave artistry? Where does that leave, the next icon to be born, the next Michael Jackson, the next Tupac? These artists cannot be replicated. But now these major record labels are saying, F all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can replicate this shit. Maybe we can't do like a live show, but we can, I'm saying, we can carbon copy this shit. Like, we don't need y'all no more. I just want to say to all of y'all that, are standing by the side of AI. Look, do I use AI for some things? Yes. I'm working on an app, and I'm kind of like asking AI about different things, you know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of you are probably screaming, well, how is that different? There's a lot of computer engineers that spend a lot of years, and now you're just going to AI. Well, that's the thing. AI is not making the app for me. AI is, helping me make the app, because I never put anything like that together, as opposed to someone taking your shit and making something else out of it. Again, to all you young artists out there, another industry secret: a lot of these major label artists, a lot of these major label execs, they will, at some point, they will have people go out online, go to SoundCloud, go to YouTube, look for, independent artists that are well less known, and they will just steal their shit. If it sounds good, they will steal it. I had Rick Ross steal some of my lines back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So that does happen, because creativity is very rare. It's divine intervention. It's the spark of the Almighty, man. Only, the selected few are blessed enough to receive that spark, and even fewer are blessed enough to receive that spark and then to be able to share it with the whole entire world. So the way we combat this whole phenomena is please go out there and support artists that are doing their thing, artists that care about their craft, artists that actually want to give something to the world. And for all you young creators out there, please don't be discouraged. There are AI companies out there that are doing their thing ethically. I have had a company reach out to me and tell me, look, we're training our own AI. Can we use your content? And they will pay you for it. They will pay you for the minutes and the hours that they use. So don't get discouraged. There are ethical companies out there. For all you other mother suckers out there, if you have a writer's block and you go out and you have AI feed you shit, instead of you feeding AI feeding you shit, you are just being lazy. You are just cheating. So yeah, man, crazy story. Please let me know what you think. Again and again, we're gonna unpack the whole thing in much more details on the Soul Away podcast. this weekend. Huge shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Suchir Balaji. Unfortunately, their son lost their life for trying to disclose this. And think about this, man. If they took someone's life for this, then obviously this is, something very important, something they want to keep away from people and away from people finding out. But guess what? We know about it. Now it's up to us to combat this thing. Go support artists, go support the poet that I'm about to shout out, the always beautiful Romaniya poet. She's exceptional. Every single word, every single, visual in her book, it's all hers. It comes from that, divine spark, man. So huge shout out to all of you, man. Huge shout out to K Fresh. Huge shout out to all the fam over here. You know what I'm saying? And just before I'm out of here, everything that we do on this channel, it comes from within. So please support podcasts like ours. Please support channels like ours, because again, this is how we will fight back, and this is how we will reclaim some of this creative, some of these intellectual rights that belong to God. You know what I'm saying? So huge shout out to Jim Dillinger. Go check out his channel. Everything is original on that channel. Huge shout out to David Woodanyuk, again, Romaniya poet. Please go get some of them books. Goddess Journey, Journey Inside. Huge shout out to Melody, Willow Roots, Jana, like all of you good folks out there that's been part of the movement the whole time. You know what I'm saying? My co-host Daniel, that's up in heaven, man. And I love all of you. And you know what we say? Oh no.